Let's see if everything's working and so on. I'm just refreshing my stream. Muting it, pausing it, turning on the chat. Channel streaming, everything's streaming. Okay. Now I can pause it finally. So, today... actually, yesterday, I was working a bit more on this minigame challenge and I came up with an idea. And the main idea is that I won't have like a lot of different levels and so on. It's gonna be just this. But I'm thinking about that this penalty decision is kind of bugging me a bit, you know? Because I kind of feel that just a second. Oh, Balatra music. I can use that, right? Well, because the problem is with this thingy here is that I have to modify and generate the whole new thing. I could do that, but it would kind of feel wrong in a way. So I wrote down a couple of things that I was thinking about regarding the minigames, and that's actually, for example, one of the challenges would be bunny challenge. We spawn bunnies and you have to kill X amount of bunnies in certain amount of time. Then other challenge would be dodge the projectile challenge. Then we have pattern match. Of course, this is the one that we're working on now. And mushroom dash and lawnmower. Those would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? If I count them correctly. So bunny challenges, they spawn randomly, they run away from you and you have to get them all within a certain time. Maybe wave 1 is gonna be 1 bunny spawn somewhere, wave 2, 2 bunnies, and you have time limit of, depending on difficulty, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds and so on. Then I kind of think about it now and kind of feels wrong to murder bunnies so much. But then we could have also mushroom dash, so it means that mushrooms spawn and you have to destroy them within a certain time. And regarding the mushrooms, the difference is that the yellow ones would spawn, which kind of give you a dash recharge, you know. So for example, here one would spawn and you have a couple of seconds to get it out, and then mushrooms would spawn within a certain distance from each other only. Like mushroom here and mushroom there. So if you're wise, you can do zappa zappa, you know. It's like minigame training you in dexterity a bit. Then the pattern match is of course the logic one, or the memory one. And lawnmower would be that you have to destroy a certain amount of grass. The grass would spawn and you have to mow it. Basically destroy every single lawn. So there could be like total 5 minigames in here. They could appear from level 1, but the way the difficulty would be represented is of course via these shrines here, statues. Yo Logan, how's it going? Did you hear me blabbering about anything a bit? Or do you like where this is going? Still have a lot of things to do, but I made some progress yesterday. I don't know if you saw how everything was spinning around and working. But now we just have to draw the... not just have to, we have a lot of things to do, but... Okay. Check this out. Oh. Wait up. Let me disable the collision shapes. Well, one thing is that we have prize shrine configured, a reward shrine and prize. Then we have to add the penalty and difficulty one. But now I'm thinking about, should I have the difficulty shrine? Because I was kind of thinking that it would be cooler if you could choose the game that you play. Now look at this logic. See, this is everything now question mark. But for example, you come to it, you interact first time, it starts spinning, and then I'm gonna try to get the that ice ball thingy. and it stops. See? And you get it, and then they explode. So first interaction is that it spins it. Second one is that you stop it. How do you like the system? But of course, here will be the items, here will be the difficulty, and here's gonna be the penalty. Hey, another to me. Cool. And then when you've interacted with every one of them, this button will turn green, so you can start it. And when you hit play, this populates depending on difficulty, and you have to repeat the pattern. Now, the pattern isn't working yet, but for example, this would be it. Tup, 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 something like that, right? And if it's a harder game, you have like 6 rows, 2 columns, 6 these tiles. If it's even harder, you have 9 of them. And then you have to navigate between tight corridors, you know. It's actually not a pure ability picker, it's an item picker, I would say. It's a mini game of this game. Yeah. Let me just restart it. There's gonna be like 3 different statues, and each of the statue has its own role. Now I'm debugging it. The first one, the bunny, is gonna be responsible for you to pick your prize. Then the fox is gonna be responsible to pick your difficulty. So it's a bit of RNG, you know. And the bull is responsible for you to pick the penalty. I wanted to add, you know, like the penalties are being juggled, and penalty is only executed only if you lose the challenge, you know. So for example, if I wouldn't match in this minigame all the patterns that would need matching, I would get this penalty applied. But I was thinking about, once they're all 3 semi-random, the further you progress in the game itself, I'm not sure if you know, but the game is a bit bigger overworld and so on. I'm gonna take you there. So in the first biome where you explore, you can come across it. And the thing here is that I would have like a bit of different chances for the game to be difficulty, you know, this minigame and so on. So for example, you would walk here, explore everything, and then you would stumble up across this hole somewhere. Because for now we have arena. Where is it? Let me find it. Oh no. I don't see it anywhere. Oh, here's the storage shrine. But basically you find a hole to which you travel, and you have an opportunity to... Movement is kind of slow. Well, I'm kind of running because the default movement was this. Just a second. This was default. And yeah, then I added run, and this is now running. So maybe we'll add perks that increase your base movement. Because the whole game is about you customizing your build. For example, you would go here into the base camp, and here you could assign different cartridges. For example, this one. I have dash booster here, this one by passive. Exactly, speed cartridge. Yeah, speed cartridge, I'm writing it down. And then you could equip it and it would give you boost. Yeah, right? Because you have different boosts regarding the movement you can get through shoes, through other things. And definitely cartridge could come in handy. We're gonna make it cheap, and basically it's gonna increase your movement speed by, let's say, first level for 10%, second level for 20% or something like that, if you're willing to commit it. But anyway, the point of the game is that you have your own skill tree and you assign your own skills to it before you go on a run. Like this thingy this thingy, and then you level it, you know. And you can also choose your companions. For example, let's say that Anna's gonna follow us now. She's a huntress. Here we go. I'm also not sure, if not regarding the movement. Yeah, the character movement. You mean like movement speed, right? Oh, something's going on here. Hey, look at this nice little stream. Ah, that's what was here. Let's use some runes. Anna leveled up. Let's give her multi-shot and a bit more of damage. And let's increase the dash charges. Now we have dashies. Here we have Arena now. Let's give her a command to stand here. And let's begin the ceremony. I also kind of made these sponge slimes, giant slimes, a bit less tankier. Because they were such a big health sponge that it was... Hey. Here we go. Regarding the art, the characters are bought. I drew the main character myself and some other stuff. For example, the icons and these things. It's, I'd say 50-50. I drew the background of the whole arena, these tiles, character. Some items are bought, some are drawn. You know, I try to have the style. Oh, that's cool, man. I appreciate it. It's still work in progress, but I really hope that soon we're gonna hit early access. But today's goal is basically that we make these challenge rooms work. So my next objective will be that I add like difficulty spinners. But one of the problems I have is I don't want to have like too many difficulties, because the current thing I wanted to go with is like the dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this kind of sucks, because this means that I have to account in 6 difficulties. And I don't want that. I want to take in account, for example, like 3 difficulties top. You know. And we could still have 6 items spinning around, but depending on the level in which you are, I would have like higher chances of difficulty being easier. So we would have like 3 entries. In this case of a die 1. But we need different icons because this is just too much. Is it a survival sandbox? No, actually it's an RPG, ARPG. Yeah, but different biomes. I have 3 biomes. One is this. Let me show you the other one quickly. 6 difficulties. Could be easy. Okay. Just a second. Elder Glade. Now that was Forest. Then the next one would be Cavernous Depths. And this one is gonna be the biggest. And here you're also gonna get... just a second. Copy. Paste. Let's restart it. Maybe there's a number of buttons and a number of length to the pattern. Number of length? I'm not sure how to understand that. You know, I don't want to have too many dials that spin around. It would be overwhelming for the player, I believe. Now, I'm gonna show you the Cavernous Depths. This is the one that I'm currently working on. So in here, you're gonna have like different creatures. Last couple of streams we made some raptors and so on, and it's much bigger. But the thing is that you travel around these caverns, you gather ores and so on, and then you can go craft things, but it's not permanent. Anything is not permanent here, except meta progression. So you can unlock the different cartridges, that's the thing that's permanent. Or if you want to, you can send one item back to yourself, of course for a prize. But look at this. There we go. Hey, a hordes here. Let's see if I can find lava. Because this is kind of a lava biome. This one comes... here it is. And the creatures here are gonna be immune to lava. But you, if you walk in it, of course you're gonna catch fire. Come on. Here we go. So yeah, Logan, I don't know if you knew, but you can make a bigger map. I guess nobody figured that one out. You can close the minimap, you can make it even bigger one. And for example, this is the new feature. If you want to, you can send the raw steak back to yourself or any other item. But I don't have 35 gold. I think this is gonna work wonderfully. With M. You press M and then you can make a Diablo style overlay map. Wow, that's a lot of things here. Okay, I'm gonna die. Didn't take long. Okay, let me read what was going on. So like 1 equals 4 buttons with 4 sequence. 2 equals 4 buttons with 6 sequence. I'm not sure again. Okay, another to me isn't painful to have to rebuild the game each time. I like C#, but GD has hot reloading, which is the biggest selling point for me. Well, I kind of like C#. I came from the C# environment. And tried the GD script as well, made a couple of prototypes, and I just love the language C#. I can't. I just can't. It's just something that I'm so used to, and I tried many different languages in my developer days, and that one is just the one that sits right. For me at least, but in the end it's whatever floats your boat. My one qualm with movement is that I wish the dashes had either independent recharge or they all recharge after a pause. Whew. That one is something to think about. I mean. Dashing and all recharge at the same time. If I have 5 dashes and you get charged for 5 dashes at the same time. Whew. Maybe there could be a system that if you have still charges left, it needs a bit of less time. I mean, it needs like 2 seconds for a recharge to appear. But if you drain them all, the recharging doesn't happen for 4 seconds, but you get the full restart. I think that's kind of the... Maybe this could work. You know, like you're super exhausted. You depleted all your charges. And now you have to wait for... Yeah. Be right back, guys. I just gotta take a leak. Missed you too. Back. Alright, now I'm gonna bring up the text editor a bit, so I'll see what's going on, at least on the left side. Current thing we have is rabbit reward statue, fox reward statue type. Okay. Then in here, everything is related to the dial. If we go here, I have the radius, this is all good. We just need to set the different rewards pool. And the rewards pool is being set, I think, through init. And that's it. It's being set here, and I call it in the statue, I believe, where I put in the prizes. For now, I'm setting 5 prizes, or 6. This is like 6 prizes. Okay. 5. Okay. But here I have to now differentiate what kind of a dial we're talking about. Because the first one is definitely taking in the rewards, the prizes, and this, we should differentiate between this. So this is actually weighted list. Okay. Rewards weighted list equals to null for now. And then we're gonna have a switch statement. And based on statue type or something like that. Where do I set this? It's up here. Reward statue type. We have three different cases. First case is gonna be rabbit. Second one is gonna be fox. And the third one is gonna be bull. So reward, difficulty, punishment. Maybe bull is gonna have like minigame type rather, not punishment, and punishment will be... What do you guys think? Punishment should be known for what you pick for yourself, or the punishment should be unknown? Maybe it would be better to give a player a chance to pick out his minigame, if I make sense, instead of punishment. Uh-huh. Yeah. But you know where I'm going, Logan. If I should let the player to pick his own reward, that's for sure, that's gonna stay in. Pick his own difficulty, that's also the thing. But for the last thing... Uh-huh. Because for the bull I was thinking maybe he should represent... You know, just the third dial, it's giving me a bit of headache. Should I represent bull as a minigame type or as a punishment type? Yeah, maybe that could be a perk. Maybe there could be a cartridge that gives you a perk, you know. So for example, if you have a cartridge and you level up that perk or something, or some kind of an item, it would give you the ability to re-roll. Huh. But how would I make the interaction system with this? I'm thinking about. Because currently everything works on one button. You come close to it, you interact with it, it starts spinning very fast, and then if you interact the second time, this slows down. Now, it would be a flow breaker if I would add like a dialogue. You know, do you want to spin it again? That kind of would suck. Yeah, but then again I have another problem, and the problem is, for example, if I want... No, actually it's not a... Yeah, maybe we could have a sign that would display which minigame is here. Maybe there could be some kind of a sign. or something. Because in the end, what I want to do is when you interact with all three of them, they're gonna fly away. So they're gonna start levitating and move away. So this arena is gonna be empty. And once you complete or fail the minigame, they come back, flying. But if I would somehow already pre-populate the minigame, like mow the lawn minigame, the problem would be that you could destroy the grass beforehand. That's one thing. Now you can see the rewards. If you don't interact with anything, you can still move. This is going to be a portal. You can go away. But as soon as you interact with at least one of the statues, you're locked in. You can't leave. You're stuck. Then you have to commit. So don't touch anything if you don't want. Yeah, I think this is a sweet spot, right? Okay, let's find a bit different bossa nova. Maybe this one. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. So we have rabbit, fox, bull. And now here I'm just gonna take in different things from the levels resource. So instead of having all of this here, I'm just gonna say rewards weighted list resource. Huh. But one is reward, other is penalty, right? Just a second, level resource. Reward prizes, yeah. And this comes... Reward dial entry resource. Okay, so we have like a... Reward dial entry resource, yeah, this is a good one. Let's cast it like that. So this is okay, but we take this one away for now. And we assign it here. And here we go now with Fox's difficulty. And the bull is punishment or penalty. Like that. And instead of prizes, I have to call this rewards, more general. Because you're rewarded either a prize difficulty or a penalty. That's how we try to keep it abstract. Okay. Now I think I only have the problem of how I display these things in the dial. I didn't implement that right yet. Dial. And when I init it, I get the rewards here and I spawn reward nodes. So I instantiate that node, I add it to the thing that spins around and I start doing stuff with it. But the price... Reward dial price... Yeah, okay. Just a second. This one has reward dial entry resource, so that's a reward, okay. Maybe the naming of this is wrong a bit. But okay, never mind. we edit, we init it, and we pass this in here. So this is setting the thing in here. Then we resolve it, and we resolve it based on its type. If it's a price, difficulty, or penalty. And for price, we have this thing, but resolve difficulty and resolve penalty, we don't have anything yet. So that's the last two I have to implement, here at least. Okay, and the thing I have to set for this thingy is reward dial difficulty type. I get the difficulty type from this thing. So if I get the difficulty type, I have to get it mapped to the correct icon. Switch. So this is gonna be example for 6 cases now. I still have a feeling that we're gonna... Yeah, 6, as you mentioned, it's kind of okay, right? Let's call it difficulty. Difficulty type. Case. Let's copy and paste a couple of these. Okay, so this is dice 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now the thing that we have to implement, assign, is the texture of this spinning thingy. And I'm not sure, but I believe that in icons resource, I have somewhere difficulty. No, but this is the wrong difficulty type. Sequence plate icons by type. No, I could say that we have another export where what did I press? Set the dial difficulty type by Atlas texture. But now I wonder, should I name this dial difficulty type, or should I rename it to minigame difficulty type, something like that? Because this, kinda is too generic. And I should rename it from Dice 1 to something more abstract. Maybe because it's representing now the, what is it called, the icon itself. Maybe in the future we're gonna change the icons and then this won't match. Okay. This is better. And I'm gonna call this It's gonna be dial difficulty, because maybe in the future the difficulty will also be represented for something else as well. But here we can say that this is gonna be dial difficulty icons by type. That makes sense. And now if we build it, we have to have something new in the resources. Then I can assign them. Am I forgetting something? I think I don't. I'm not. Icons. Here we go. And then we say difficulty 1 goes with dice 1. Dice 4. Oh no, I misclicked. Dice 5. And last but not least, dice 6. Okay, I got this now. So now this thing should be set in the reward dial price here. And we're gonna take the same thing here. Now instead of having the case, I don't have to assign it like that. I can just basically say that sprite 2D texture. This could be coming from icons resource, and we go to dial difficulty, and we assign the dial difficulty type here and get it. Just a second. I think it's lowercase, like that, and that's okay. Now that's a simple one. And the other things are already assigned, so regarding the icon we don't have to do anything. Now penalty, that's a big one, because penalty... where is it? Penalty... Oh... This one. We have take 25, take 50, take 75, and so on. Now, one of the things here is, you know, 25% could mean of the current health, or it could mean of the maximum health. And I believe it should be maximum health. Or, because, you know, if player has 1 HP and you deal 75% of that, if I'm rounding it up, I'm always gonna leave him at 1, and that's not okay. He has to have the ability to die. At least that's my opinion, my take on it. You gamble with your life, buddy. And you better have full HP. Or you're just lucky. You still have the opportunity to redeem yourself. So now we're gonna have like 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 12 icons. So some numbers. 25, 50, 75. Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna have to draw now. Let me put the A sprite, or code a bit on the left side. And I think I have UI elements. And these little thingies could be the icons themselves. Now the simplest way would be, for example, if I would add a sword icon like this and kind of write out the number itself. So it would be 25, 75 and 0 or something like that. Still not sure about the colors of if we're gonna commit to this. I wanna see how I use the percentage signs like that. Okay. Because maybe the numbers will be too big. That's just covering the whole thing. Huh. Now, that's either one way or I have like different weapons specified. Huh. Aha, I have like 3 icons and maybe I could say that 25% damage is Silver Star, 50% is Gold Star, and 75% will be like the Purple Star. That's also a possibility, one way to display this problem. Because if I use the icons and they are in the same size, that's gonna really look bad. But the stars, they represent the 3 difficulty types. We'll see. And then, Roman numeral maybe. That's actually quite wise. I have Roman numerals somewhere. I think I have them in the icons, like these. Then I have 4 levels of these. That's very wise, Logan. Very wise. Very wise. Or as your president would say, you're a very high IQ person. Something like that. Sorry about that cringe impression. Let's just try to match the colors. Let's go with this one. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Maybe for Musk's... Yeah, for Little Axe, I think he said probably something like that, right? I saw that he had a big tweet in the morning, or... Yeah, that's evening for you guys probably. Now Roman numeral is okay. I could always put it on the right side. And let me just take a look how this would look. Yeah, right. I think this could work. What do you say? For example, icons like that. Ay, 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 Mr. Simon strikes again. No, I mean, I have to credit Logan. I'm gonna put him in the credits for all the support that he gave me. I think they might be covering a bit much the larger the number. Yeah, but I can't make it smaller, man. That's just the sad reality we got here. But maybe if we can make them square, so if it's taller a bit... Oh, that's actually 10 by 10. So I'm limited by that. Or... try with 0, 1, 2 stars. I'm not sure about that one, dude. I think that one would be cluttered. Because, you know, if you in the beginning, you're most certainly gonna see the sword, you know. And with the Roman numeral number 1, you know exactly that this is sword. And if you progress further, you're gonna see more of these. And then you know, okay, this is a sword. I saw this icon somewhere. You can color the tip of the sword to represent the values. Oh my god. Just the tip? Okay. Back to normal. Okay. Gotta stop. Yeah, but we have to keep in mind, guys. Keep in mind. That we have like... different values, so we have to have like for damage, gold, and enemies. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're freaking right. Because the enemies, I can use the same icons that I use for the arena. You know, green eyes, yellow eyes, purple eyes, and so on. You're right. And my bladder is on fire because I drank a lot of coffee and a lot of water, so I gotta take 5 again. Screw colorblind people, oh my god, now that you're telling. Tim Kane, the dude that I'm listening on. He's colorblind. Oh, that's actually cruel, guys. We have to think about them. Because this is visible for every single one. Dude, huh? We'll see. We'll try multiple variations. Be right back. Leaking. Yeah, that's like 20 minutes. That's like 3 cups in my stomach. Be right back. Back. Okay, so damn fair point. Give them different grayscale values. You can use stars as suggested and position them left of the tip, above the tip, and right of the tip. Yeah, I mean, if I'm juggling them and if I really have a lot of stars spread out, I think it's gonna take a lot of space. And if we're juggling like 12 different punishments at once, that's a lot of icons. Huh. Or 6 different punishments. Let me just try it like that. Wait up. This is taking a lot of place, you know, because it's up here. It's making the sprite a bit more polluted, or if I would go the way you proposed, like here one, here one, here one, that's also, I think, a bit... Yeah. But we have to take in account the colorblind. I mean, handicapped. You know, our friend that we have in common, Simon, he's colorblind. Sunday. So, not that he would play this game a lot, but at least, yeah. I think let's go with Roman numbers. But now I'm not sure if... Yeah, he's stiff. Just get more pixels, yes. Let's go with Romans. Should the first one also have the Roman value, or should it be without? I think it should, or? But then again, yeah. Yeah, I also think that. Something tells me that it's wrong. Yeah. Then we all agree on this. So this is regarding taking the damage. Then we have gold. What should I do for gold icon? Huh. I have a pot of gold here. That's one thing. I have a coin. Icon with up arrow. Yeah, but everything is regarding the penalty. You know, for example, how would the dude interpret this? Okay, I get you. But what does it mean exactly? Sword down. This one and then sword up. I think this... Yeah. Get you what you mean, but for now, let's stick to the Roman numerals. Huh. Well, the other possibility is that, for example, I try to put the Roman thingies on the left side. Not sure how this would look, but we can still try to position it. Now this looks even creepier, if you ask me. The handle has to be visible first. And putting it down here, it looks also weird. Or above. Let's put it in the middle. But then it makes the icons like really big. We'll try it like this now. It's done. The other icons is regarding losing gold. So now either I have this small coin, this one is gonna look terrible. Maybe I should have 3 coins or something. Four coins. Kind of, but not really. How to make you... Because the coin is also represented in the reward thingy. And for the reward thing, I have coin represented as a different icon a bit. I think this is the icon I use. So maybe I could use the same one? Let's try it out. It's possible. Make stars smaller and have them circle around the sword. That wouldn't work because then you would have like circle circling circle within a circle. I'm not sure. Look at this. Depending on if it will build now. But the thing is that it's already circling, and if you would have like circling stuff, like recursion of circles, I think that people would go mad if they would have to look at it. Total eyesore. Now imagine this. Come on, load. And now it's not working. Aha, look. Now if you would have a sword that has, you know, those things circling around, that'd be too much if you ask me. Because it's already now a lot of circles. Definitely. Now if we try with stacks. That'd be too much. Too much on the eyes if you ask me. Second. You can play with this a bit more. I know that I have somewhere stacks of gold, of coins. And then here. Looks kind of wrong. Better, but the back part should be lifted up a bit more, I believe. Like this. Okay, now this is a nice stack. But what's the height? It's... no more than one stack. Let's try to at least make it 10 pixels. Da-da-da-da-da. On nose. This is 10. That's good. That's the first one. And if we try numeral to match it with it, or maybe a coin, because it's the same icon that we use for displaying that thing, you know. Like this. First one. Too close. Probably. But if I position it a bit on the right, because this is how wide it's 10. I mean, I could offset it like that. Slap a down arrow in there for me, Big Papa. But it's hard to see level represented if you have to strain your eyes to decrypt how many are there. Yeah, the offset would work, right? And we lose the OCD with the size. Let's try it with the sword. Maybe then you guys would be a bit less hard on me. And now if we would try like number 2. That's one possibility. What do you say? This one, right? Let's keep the hardness. Okay. Okay, guys, then we take this icon as well. I put the numbers. Let's get rid of these. Need more cafe. I see what's going on there, Mr. Simon. Okay, now let's try to make these positions work. So this is one. You were suggesting maybe... Ah, no, that wouldn't work. If I would try it like that. And a bit offset down. Just one arrow down, but the numerals depict the range. Uh-huh. Should I take the red arrow or something like that? Wait up, wait up, wait up. How thick it would be? Let's see, if I, for example, would put arrow... I think that coin takes too much space for it, but then we also have to take in account the sword, you know. If it's gonna come in with it. Now this is, for example, arrow down. Maybe the arrow could be orange. But the orange conflicts with that thing. Or maybe it could be whole red. That'd be even better. But now if I try to place it, for example. I try mashing it together. Oh, why did I only take the arrow? Maybe the arrow should be overlapping the number. It should be closer. Maybe even like that. Yeah, but then it makes sense that you have the arrow down for everything, right? Or I don't know, because in the end the most important thing is that you communicate to him, okay, you have this thing and you know that from this pool everything is gonna be your loss, you know. So he then doesn't... Maybe something like this. And instead of sword we could have like health, you know. Then it's not confusion, okay, what's with the sword, why does it have arrow down? Maybe you can have heart. And then you know, okay, this is gonna affect my health, but then it's red on red and... Not sure, dude. Maybe making an arrow smaller. It takes a lot of real estate, yeah. At least I think so. This is too little. This is kind of okay, but what about this? Let's see. It's kind of a possibility. I think it was best with the top of the arrow was not in line with the top of the numerals. So maybe that it's higher? That's one thing that it's not in line. But it feels off. Yeah. This is just too much. I can't do anything with these arrows next to it, man. Because it really takes up so much real estate if I want to have it here or anywhere. At least that's what I think. Or if I tried with this one. But with the sword, the arrow doesn't make any sense because it's down, you know. Yeah. You know what? We've been juggling this so much around that I'm just gonna make something. We're gonna put it in and program the functionality, and this can always be something that we mess with a bit later. Because otherwise we're wasting so much time, guys. We're doing this for the past how many minutes? Long time. That's too big. I'll see. This one here. I want to kind of be the same size. Like that. Oh shit. Nah, caca. I'll take only one stack for now. And leave it at one stack. And then I'm gonna keep the value, how distance I am from this thing here. Now this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it starts, but I have to have an anchor here. So that's like 11 pixels, 12 pixels. I have to move it one more to the left. And I make now here number 2, but I offset it to the right. And I make it more here. And 4 is IV. This one is already too much. Where's number 4? This is number 4. Here we go. For now, we're keeping it simple, so we're regarding the levels of taking damage, that's sword, regarding the levels of losing coins, and then we have spawn enemies. And the enemy is usually represented by this. Then I could go here like different heads for different difficulty of enemies, but now if we stick to something, if we stick to enemies, to numbering, I'm sticking to numbering through the whole thing. And we'll see how ugly it will look once we start spinning it. And a bit to the right. Okay, I see the chat is going off. Yeah, like I said, that was just my... Okay. Bro got the online stutter. What? Maybe damage is the blood and the enemies is the sword. Yeah. Yeah. Could be, could be. Do you guys hear me? Could be, could be, could be. You know that I have hard time with making decisions like this. It's just something that really... is always bugging me. Wait up. Let's multiply it. Okay. Gold. Enemies. Or should I have enemies this? So damage... Ah. Oh. While I'm making these things, I'm gonna make more of them, because I have a feeling that this is gonna be interesting experience when we're gonna be assigning them and looking at them. Yeah, maybe one more to the right. There we go. It's a bit more to the right here, but I'm not sure how it would look, for example, here. Yeah, Logan, you're right. I should do that. I should do that. But I'm not sure how many more icons do we need. Not a lot. Because I'm almost done. This one still ain't good. Because this is the width of 10 or 9. 10. And from this side to here is 10. And from this side to here is 11. Now we offset everything to the left. Like that. And I'm gonna move this sucker away. We'll see what will be better. We just have everything in place and ready. And this one should be like that. And here we have a little bit of problem. Nothing too big. Maybe this side only. Okay. Hey, Siege Lord. You can also have the heart not all the way to the left like the sword. Hello. Hey, we're drawing the penalties actually. How it will look when you get kind of, you know, where, I'm not sure if you saw that yesterday, Siege Lord. I see. These are not aligned, sorry about that. Aligned. Now everything is in place. It should be. Let me just see what... just a second, Siege Lord, I'm just gonna take a look if we have to draw something else. So we have, regarding taking damage, losing gold, spawning enemies, losing an item we need, and skill point and meta coin. Huh. I don't have anything for skill point. I mean, meta coin we can do easily. We could take the meta coin icon. But then it would be appropriate if we use the same icon for the gold. Okay, so I see, oh, 7 viewers totally. Just a second, let me just show you what we're working on. Quickly. I'm sorry to inform you that loose item should be loose item. Not sure if it matters since it's in player facing. Probably. Probably. It's a grammar thing that will haunt me. Because I lose it. I had the gold correctly written, but this one, it googled in. Double O. So what we're working now is on minigames, and this is taking much longer than I expected, and I have planned for like 5-6 minigames that are gonna be in the same shrine, but you're gonna be able to play them, I don't know, maybe a couple of times, 2 to 3 times per run, maybe 4 times, we'll see. And each time you're gonna come over the minigame, you're gonna decide your own fate. There we go. For example, this dude here. You're gonna teleport to the area like this, and then the first thing that you're gonna pick is gonna be a reward. But you're not gonna get the reward instantly. When you start selecting it, it starts spinning like a mad thing, and you click it again, and suddenly it's gonna stop, and this will spawn. But we're gonna fix it. This isn't gonna spawn immediately. It's just gonna be selected like that. And then the second thing that you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to pick the difficulty. So basically how difficulty the challenge will be. And the third thing is gonna be the penalty if you lose. What's gonna happen to you? So if you lose, you don't get the item, you get this. If you win, you get the item, you don't get this. And then when all of 3 of these are selected, they're gonna hover away. So this mini ground is gonna become, you know, more navigatable, if I make sense. And you're gonna have the opportunity to hit the play button. And when the play button gets pressed, the minigame will start. And one of the minigames is gonna be repeat the pattern. So the easy one is gonna have like that you have to remember less thingies. The hard thing is gonna have more of these spawned. And more numbers to repeat, more sequences. I mean, the longer sequence to remember. That's gonna be one minigame. Then another minigame is gonna be that either you're gonna have to defeat waves of bunnies. So bunnies are gonna spawn one here, one here, one here, one here. Maybe the first round is gonna be 1 bunny, and you have to take it out in 3 seconds. Second round is gonna be 2 bunnies, and you have to take them out in 5 seconds. So on. Harder, longer runs, you know. Then other minigame that I'm planning on working on is dodge the projectiles. Maybe we're gonna spawn like cannons in each corner, and each time they're gonna shoot like different amount of projectiles, maybe different patterns. We'll see. That one's gonna be the last one probably. Then we're gonna have mushroom dash, which is gonna mean be similar like bunny, but the difference is gonna be that the yellow mushroom is gonna spawn, and you're gonna have to destroy them all within a certain period of time. So first round is gonna be 1 mushroom, destroy it in 4 seconds, boom. Then it's gonna be 2 mushrooms, tsup tsup, destroy them in 4 seconds. But the thing is that when you destroy a mushroom, yellow mushroom, it recharges your dash. So I'm gonna spawn them like in some reasonable distance between each other, and if you're gonna be fast enough, you should be able to clear the challenge, you know. That's one. And last but not least, it's gonna be lawnmower challenge. So for example, repopulate everything with grass, and it's gonna say mow the lawn in 10 to 15 seconds. And you're gonna have to swing like a mad lad. But you know, with grass, there's a tiny thing that's gonna be helpful, and that's that it actually increases your fury. So if you're gonna be good, you're gonna be able to clear that quite fast. And one more thing that's gonna be added as a difficulty modifier, and that's gonna be that some tiles are gonna turn into water. Which means that you're much slower on water. So maybe it's gonna be smart for you to have equipment that actually increases your dash charges or increases your movement speed in the water. And that's gonna be it. And I think that by having a minigame like that, we can use it a lot of times regarding the new items, you know. Sometimes we spawn a chest on the top of the world, the player can discover it, can obtain it and so on. Other times we spawn rather these holes for minigames and he has to do something to get them. But still, yeah. The arena itself is gonna be always arena. At the end you're gonna get the rune probably and the boss battle, but this one's gonna be special. And I think it's cool. I think that the sprites turned out quite well. And yeah, still a lot of things to do. The humble bow wielder. You also have loose meta coined. Oh my god. Thanks, dude. Point. Point, yes. I see where it happened. No stealth archer. I mean, for the bunny challenge, I think that the archery thing is gonna be the best. But for the grass, I mean for the mushrooms... Huh. Should I make mushrooms destroyable by a bow or not? You know how it is. Barely passed. But that's it. So, now we're at the penalties. Let's finish these drawings, man. I think the gold stacks are gonna turn into the gold coin, because then it's gonna be the same size as this meta coin. Like this. And then there's something that Mr. Logan recommended long time ago. I think it's evenly placed. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3 too much. A bit down. Now what I can do is I can duplicate this and just drag it down. Ta-da! Okay. So that's one thing, and for the golden coins, let's do it. Let's see, because the stack is kind of... It's bothering me because it's not the same icon as we use for the gold. It's again something different. 1, 2. Well, I'm not sure if we're gonna have like 4 meta coins here. Hey, you know what's even better? I can make meta coins go in negative. Yes! I'm gonna do that. Sorry about that. Something came out of me. Not usually what happens, but... Oh, you know, that That's what happens when the dev hates you. Shit. That'd be nasty. No, I can't do that to you. I mean, on the hard mode, you know, I'm starting to consider it. And then the meta competition could be who gathers the biggest debt. And completes the game with biggest debt. This means that you have like no cartridges and so on. You know, it could happen. Okay, we have gold, meta coin, then we said skill point. I don't have anything for skill point. Ah, of course I do, star. I always display skill points as stars. There's even a counter for that. Silly. Stars and levels. Then you need a new NPC, a loan shark. Oh, the possibilities. Endless, guys, endless. Okay. So that's like 2 pixels and 1 from the left. Okay. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do something nasty. I think it's okay. Let me just clean this up. The mess we have and kinda try to optimize the positioning and spacing out. So for the future, if I'm gonna need it, these are also not needed anymore. And we can move everything to the left a bit. Hello. Hello, Sampurna bro. Okay, we got this. I think we have enough icons here, enough space if I'm gonna crap in something more. So, fight, maybe damage, gold, meta, skill. We'll see, we have a lot of cutting up to do. Do I have something else? Item, of course, item. What is Sampurna? Or is it something from anime, maybe? Okay, we got these. And we're missing an item. Now that I think of it, I shouldn't box myself in here because I have a nice workflow regarding these numbers, just dragging them down. But. Always a big but. Here we go. I'm gonna put it here somewhere. On the right side. Or maybe keep the opportunity for adding more numbers if needed in the future. Have it like this, so we can grow to the right side. I doubt we're gonna have to, but still. Now we're missing an item. Well, for item, I think that the stash icon would be good. Stash or some kind of a pouch. Oh, cool, dude. Wholesome. This one. Should I have the chest for the item? I should probably. Or, you know what? I'm gonna utilize that thing that we use there. Here in the interactables, I have a pouch. And pouch means that you transfer. Pouch means that you transfer actually the item to your next run. So let's copy it, try to make it much smaller. Like this. Oh no. We'll see what kind of a size we're gonna try to achieve. Okay, this is matching the width and height. So I'm just gonna try to expand it a bit. Like this. And now we gotta color it correctly. So if I take the inspiration from the little pot, or actually the treasure chest, oh, Nepali, cool. I paid. No, I'm glad to pay for that. You gotta support the developers, man. That's the reason I even paid for it. I know that you can build it from source, but you gotta support our troops. When somebody builds something so well constructed, you just gotta do it. Yep, 15 bucks, and it's a tool that it's probably the longest used application I have in my Steam library, and I didn't use it so much, you know, but it's good. Whoops. I don't even remember when I purchased that thing. Doesn't look good. I have to make more curves. Maybe this one could be cut like that. Oh, it looks like a jar. I mean, vase, and that isn't good. Darker was better. Whew, it's on Steam. But that thing is actually... Let's see. Not store feature, the library. You know, I always have it opened in the background. I even use the beta channel. 18,755. always opened. That's the thing. It doesn't really represent the knowledge, you know, how much I would have to know about pixel art. Not really close. Because I kind of suck at it, but, you know, the thing that kind of saves me is the grind. Not really, man, this doesn't look good. Should I use rather the chest? Well, this makes sense. This represents the item that it stores it. But the chest looks like more like an inventory, right? Yeah, don't complicate when you don't have to. Is it the same width? With the same height, not the same, but that's okay. Because I'm not having everything the same height, do I? Sword is 2 pixels higher. This is 2 pixels. But the heart isn't. So I just have to offset it down a bit more. Uh, 2 pixels, and that's okay. Chest is good, right? Here we go with this one. Do I have some shorts and a trailer? Early trailer is there. Now that I think about it, we're gonna have to change so many things in the trailer and so on. You know what if I kind of cheat here a little bit? Because this looks kind of weird. Yeah, let's do it. Don't need the black thing over it. It stands out too much. Good enough. Yeah, it did, right? We have so many new things, new biomes, new challenges coming. And I also removed the demo, so demo is not playable anymore because it doesn't represent nearly what the game is about. It was, in demo I just showcased a couple of arenas and that was it, you know. And the first biome, and I don't want people to make the opinion based on that. But I needed it for exposure on Next Fest. It would be a waste. If we wouldn't get enough eyes. Thank you, Logan, for doing that. For supporting me this way, man. Appreciate it. Okay, now I believe that we have everything. We have item, skill point, meta coin, and all regarding this, so that's okay. But now here comes the tricky part. We have to cut everything up, size it. Yeah, that's like a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 4. 32, that's a lot. Okay, we're gonna lose this one. I'm going with a singular coin, so it's gonna match more the width of the meta coin. And regarding the health, I think we're gonna use this because this is the health icon in the end. A big heart. That's true, man. Let's pin it. I think then I have to go in the Twitch itself. Okay. And if I go now to the Steam. Yeah, dude, I'm running Linux. Let's go to YouTube. I'm gonna pin it also on YouTube. But it's such an interesting ratio between YouTube views and Twitch views. Now it's like dominating completely on the Twitch. Okay. Pin message. It's pinned. Thanks for reminding me, dude. I don't know why there's no auto possibility for a message to pin. Or I just didn't see it. Yes, Logan. Only tier 1. Let's have only one for now. So maybe I can just use the icon, right? Or we leave it. We'll see how it looks when it spins. I'm using Fedora, by the way. Yeah. Okay, and before we start cutting, I'm just gonna offset it again a bit. My god, today's stream is taking a lot of artwork. Now let's do it. For the future, we do this. Okay. Star. Alright, it was past my bedtime and I've done enough damage to your base. I'm out. No, dude, thanks for staying here, you know. You always come up with good ideas and you direct me in good directions, man. I really appreciate it. But I know that you have to catch those Z's. It's really early where you live. So have a good night or a good rest, dude. See you again. Bye, dude. And the icon. No, man, really. I appreciate it. It's very good to rubber duck, you know. You're the... Don't want to sound mean, but you're the best rubber ducky I could have, you know. You talk back, and you talk back sense. Okay, I don't want to make anybody jealous. Simon, you too. I love you too. Love everybody. Now I'm simping. Macroplastic? What's that? There we go. But why? Why? Huh! Like rubber duck size. Okay, we got this. And the last but not least, Mr. Sword. Bye, Logan. Okay. 5 like this, and let's start cutting. Interactables, then we have lots of different things here. I gotta come up with a keyword that I use here. It's not that. You know what, let's look at the class name. Reward entry. Yeah, we're gonna call them reward. Dial reward. And the first one that we're gonna name is, let me just open up the code, is gonna be take damage 50 or 25. 25 is first. Now we can filter it out and cut in time. And this would be good if we can set it on grid snap. And here we have 16 by 16, but this isn't the best looking, so we have to kind of make it smaller. And then we're gonna offset it. Let's see. We would need a grid kind of a size. What is this? Let's make it a bit bigger. That'd be 15 by 15. No, let's make it 16 by 16, huh? Too long, Sumpruna, if you ask me, too long. Couple of years. And first it started out like a jam for the New Year's LAN, where I kind of planned of making on Survivor's clone. But yeah, that turned out quite interesting. So yeah, I'm working on it a couple of years. Year and a half full time, I'd say. And it took some turns, the directions and so on, but I think I finally know where it's heading and where it's gonna land. Okay, I can offset it here on the x-axis. You're working also on something yourself? Okay, -3. Kinda good. Maybe put it a bit lower. Then it's too low. Huh. Okay, regarding the sword, it looks okay. Regarding the HP, it looks okay. I think this is the good position, because for the gold icon, I'm gonna be using anyway this one. Maybe we're gonna lift star up for 1 more pixel. Yeah, we're gonna do that. But the sword size is okay. Or is it? What if I do 15? Or a bit less. I mean, I have to have a bit bigger cutouts if I want to apply some kind of outline in the future, like if something would be glowing with the shader. Because those were 10 by 10. Huh. Aha. That's cool. I worked with Unity a long time ago. It was nice. Cool engine if you ask me and everything, but the policy of them kind of sucked, so yeah. I don't know, man. Not buying into it because, again, there's a corporation behind it, right? If that's regarding the sandbox or something like that, what do they call it? Sand? Not sure. No, I went open source with everything. Not sure if that's open source or not. I know that it's gonna do good for game development, but not jumping ships anytime soon. What about you? What do you think about it? Do you think it's good? Tuck. I think it's good now. Take damage 25. Take damage 50. This is the second one. Take damage 75. Well, we should have that in it. There has to be death. You gotta be a madman to go gamble with a death arena. Well, the crashing is coming from my side. Probably I'm using some scripts wrong. I'm sure of it. Because if you have some tool scripts and if you do some mumbo jumbo, I think there has to be an underlying reason for that. I remember that I did some weird mumbo jumbo with Unity as well. But there I had problems like it loaded a very long time. Unity 2, yeah. 18k hours on Sprite. I'm telling you, man, it's always open in the background. Then I'm not sure. But always take a look at the newer versions. You know how it is with software. Sometimes you fix something and break something else. Let's add loose gold. There we go. The gold one is this one, but now we have to offset it a bit differently, I believe. Because it kind of looked weird. This one gives it better visual representation on the middle. So using this one. 50. $75. You know what I was thinking about? Maybe there could be like cheating in the spin system. I'd add item that slows your time for like two seconds a bit. It would be expensive, but it would affect even the time how fast the dials spin, you know. I think that'd be cool. What do you guys think? It's a little exploit that clever people would figure out. Okay, we got this here, and then we have spawn enemies, right? If you're not taking policy into account, which engine do you think is very natural to you? I'd say Unity, because it's the first engine that I really used to make a commercial game, and I learned everything the Unity way regarding the component system, but the knowledge was easily transferable to Godot. I wouldn't change it into anything anymore. Tooling, writing tools and everything seems much easier in Godot, custom resource and so on. So yeah, I'm on this bandwagon now for probably 3 years for Godot, if not more. So yeah, I'm married to it now. And I'm sure that if they mess up regarding the policies or anything, that community can take over and continue the story with the forked version, you know. So, not skipping trains. Because really, how many things it offers you out of the box, even the whole documentations that's embedded into it. It's an executable. I don't see any... I don't know. I love it. Small, snappy. Works on Linux. Important factor again. Wanted to use, you know, open source things. Yeah, I'm liking it. It's funny that the first game engine that I used actually was Game Maker, I believe. Yeah, Game Maker was also cool for that time, but then again it had its own scripting language, which is again specific that you have to learn when you're starting out, you know. Oh man, I think I messed up. Now take damage is sword. I renamed it. For enemies I usually use this one. Let's see if I can make something work with this. I know that with Unity I already had a problem that if you wanted to modify your inspector, I was using that plugin, Odin. So for custom serialization it was very good back in the day. And it made you write good tools for the editor itself. But then you see the quirks of it, you know. You have to buy more licenses and so on. So yeah. Kind of, dude, not really sad that I jumped ship. There we go. And also with text, I know Unity had so many quirks with that Text Mesh Pro back in the day. Then they bought it, then they integrated it, then you had like 2 ways of doing text. Also the input system. Yeah, right? They have a new version of it now, but there's still legacy version somewhere. I know that they have to support stuff. I'm not telling anything against it. Don't have anything against it. But, you know, sometimes cleaning up to do is good. So, gold enemies, then we have damage. Now we have to add lose item and lose skill point. What did I do? Where's lose item? Uh-huh. Here we go. Lose item. Let's just duplicate it and say lose skill point. Lose meta coin. Okay. Now lose item comes in here. Maybe we could have 1, 2, 3. That's also a nasty one. Let's do it. Of course. You have to tune into the dark side for the fellow bull shrine. And there's gonna be a shrine where you could actually pray. Let's do that. Let's do that also, Anne. So if you spend some, if you, for example, like gift some items to the altar, maybe we're gonna decrease the difficulties of the penalties that are occurred. So you could influence that, you know. That'd be a cool feature. Another way to waste your items. Item 4. Here we go. And last but not least, lose skill point. Uh-huh. I'm just gonna have them ready. If I sometimes really want to be bad. 2, 3, 4. So that's 1 skill point. 2. And 3. And then after that 4. There we go. And then we need meta coins, of course. Let me see if something's new. Raid! Oh! 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 Hello, triple jump games. How's it going? How's Atomcraft? Just a second, I was looking too much in the A sprite. Well, what's going on? Actually, I'm working on the mini challenge. The challenge arena. Where you're gonna have the ability to pick your own fate. For example, first you're gonna pick the item, you're gonna be rewarded if you win the mini challenge. Then you're gonna pick the difficulty, and third you're gonna pick the penalty. So, it's like... you're gonna hate yourself after that, probably. And the further you're gonna go, the higher difficulties are gonna be, and penalties are gonna be nastier. So, for example, this is gonna be like 5 or 6 different mini challenges possible. And the thing that I'm working on is these shrines. So first you go here, and then you interact with it. It's gonna start spinning, and if you're gonna be lucky, you're gonna get a good item. Yeah, I got Firebomb. And then you're gonna choose the difficulty. You're gonna go here. You'll see that sometimes there are gonna be more 1s than 2s in, depending on the difficulty of the level where you are. And then the last thing, you're gonna choose the penalty. And when you're done with that, this button here will appear. and you're gonna be able to start the game. And when you press start, these things are gonna fly away, and this thing is gonna be populated. Now, one of the challenges is gonna be having to remember a pattern, how the things light up. So, 1, 1, so chest, chest, bow, bow, star, and if you're gonna make it, boom, you got yourself an item. That's the easier version. The harder version is gonna have like more of these plates and more longer sequence to remember, and then it's not only gonna be about the pattern or sequence remembrance, but it's also gonna be like a mini game where you have to kill certain amounts of bunnies in certain time. So for example, in the first wave we spawn first bunny which runs away from you. You have to take it down in 3 seconds. If you fail the mission. Then the second wave is gonna be like 2 bunnies and you have to take them down in 5 seconds. So, you know. Then other minigame is gonna be like dodge the projectile. Maybe we're gonna be spawning something at the player. Then another one is gonna be mushroom dash. We populate mushrooms. The yellow mushrooms give you dash charge back. So for example, you destroy it, you can just charge to the next one. Again, time based. And the last but not least, lawnmower. And with that one, I'm planning on populating the whole thing here. And you have to cut as much grass as you can within as little time as possible. And that's gonna be like 5 to 6 mini challenges. Each time it's gonna be a bit different, a bit more difficult, and rewarding or punishing. So I think this is gonna add some variety to the game itself, you know. Probably it's gonna be cool enough. But the thing is gonna be that when you come here, you can still go out. You're not committed to complete the challenge, but as soon as you interact with the first one, this thingy here disappears. So no going out for you. That's one thing. And now that I'm thinking about companions, because companions can attack rabbits and everything, either way I would force them to stay in the corner and have a command like wait here, or they would help you chasing the rabbits. We'll see. Because some companions are better at chasing rabbits than others. Now this would also then influence which companions you choose for your journey. Because the outcome of the minigames could be different. Because maybe Lilith, she deals AoE damage, you know? She could be blasting the rabbits with you as fast as possible. While Gotar, he's a pretty slow dude. If the rabbit challenge comes up. So yeah, that's kind of it, what I'm working on. Currently what I'm working on is the penalty thingy here. And all the wiring and so on, so... Yes. How was progress on Atomcraft, dude? All good? Okay, the icons are set here. I think we only have to assign metacoins, yes. Metacoin 1, Metacoin 2, and 3 and 4. So basically you can choose that you're gonna get damage dealt to you for penalty, or that the enemy wave is gonna spawn. Of course the enemy wave isn't gonna give you any experience or gold. That's gonna be taken into account. Or the nastier ones are gonna be that you lose metacoins. Yeah. So this is the place where player goes in happy or he leaves very sad. And hope that people will like it. And that they'll rage from time to time. Okay. We got them all. Now we got to add the icons to this config. So we have icons resource. Okay, now dial difficulty icons by type. I think now we have to add penalties by type as well. let's call it dial penalty type, exactly. Like this. Dial penalty icons by type. Oh, what did I do? Good, saved. And I'm expecting a crash right about now, like Treshevniak said. So. Of course. And I can spill the ashes all over myself because it crashed. And I should build the engine with the flags enabled and see what's actually going on. Because the question marks don't give me a lot of trace, and I'm gonna do that offline. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna restart it. I know that once the engine was crashing totally because of when I was duplicating the shader noise. And that happened like randomly on level generation. When I was duplicating the shader noise. It's possible, I believe, through GD script. No, GD script. Oh my god. GD extension, I believe it's called. Sorry about that. So yeah, it's possible to use it. I know that people used it, especially that Halls of Torment game. I think that they rewrote everything for the performance benefits in C++. There's even a talk about it. And that's one of the cool things that Godot enables you to do. Okay. Adding all the empty ones. I'd like to use it one day. That's number 2. Loose gold. Do I have loose gold somewhere? Of course, I used double O again. Old habits die hard. Never really tried it, so I'm not sure. I know that there were some tutorials out how to set it up. Oh, just a second. I think I have an issue here. There were some YouTube tutorials. Not a lot. I believe that there was a YouTuber, Thoughtquake. That dude worked a lot with C++. But I'm not sure now if he used... I mean, if he made any tutorials regarding that. But that dude had... I'm not gonna call it issues. The thing with him was that he didn't stick with the project. I know that he was making like a top-down tactics game, and then he suddenly started to work on some kind of a cooking game, Space Chef or something like that, or Galaxy Chef, and he wanted to work on that because he thought that the scope of the game will be much smaller, and I'm not sure what's going on with him now. Let me just try to look up his channel. something. Galaxy Chef or something. Or Space Chef. Ooh, not sure what happened with this dude. But he went with C++ like early in the days with Godot. He had interesting devlogs. Look, he was making a whole tactics game 5 years ago, and this was already with C++ in Godot, cargo defense. And then he decided that he's burned out, and that he's gonna make a Galaxy Chef game because it's gonna be quick, and then that quickly turned into a 4+ years project, man. And I know that he brutally went in details with this cooking game, how you measure the temperature, how the pixels change when it's cooked enough, and so on. So I'm not sure what's going on with him anymore. But go to C++, let's see if there's some source for this. There's a playlist using C++ in Godot. One is 7 months ago, 47 chapters. Wow. Making cross-platform C++ plugins. What?
If you're a game developer looking
5.4. Now why? He has a big video with different chapters. So you got resources, man.
Hello and
C++ bindings and so on. That's 6 years old. I wouldn't follow this one. But okay. Back to work. And I have to change the music a bit. Here we go. Take damage 25, 50, 75. I want to also have take damage 100. This one. Take damage 100. And it's gonna jump up, I believe. Once everything is gonna be refreshed. Now regarding lose gold. This one was wrong. So that's 1. This one should be 2. 3. And 4. If we go back to spawn enemies now, I have only 3 difficulties. Okay, because the enemies are gonna be spawned a bit differently. You know, it's not the same if you spawn like 1 bandit and versus 2 little slimes. But still, the difficulty should be like 4 stages. Let's save it and let's change this like spawn enemies easy, medium, hard, and maybe insane. Okay. Here we go. Now let's add 1 more. And this one is regarding lose something. What am I setting here? Lose item. I should also make stages, 4 stages for this. Yeah, let's rename it. Lose item 1. Then we have lose item 2. Lose item 3 and 4. Because that's really brutal punishment and I don't believe we're gonna have more than 1 in it. But just making future self Philip ready. That we can actually crank up the difficulty quickly if we need to. Same goes for this thing. And here we do more numbers. Back to 1. And we can try rebuilding it. I think we have numbering now, okay. Build it. Playlist? What kind of a command is that? I really have a poor setup for Twitch and streaming, I believe. Save music option. Streamers frequently use copyright save music sources. Or maybe we're gonna get beaten here. Because I'm using some kind of bossa nova mixes regarding Kingdom Hearts and so on. We'll see. I'd also have to implement that if somebody subscribes, that some kind of a thank you pops up. I'm not sure where I can do that. Okay, I'm gonna send you a playlist, dude, if you're interested in. It's a good one. And we got a crash again. And I think it's starting to crash from 6.2 a bit more frequently. Yeah, we're gonna make a build again. Okay. Icons resource. And we're missing a couple of more entries. So hard is in. Easy, medium, hard, and then we have to add insane. Which one is number 4? And lose item 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, now I have a whole freaking salad here. You know what? I'm gonna remove these things. Just to keep it organized and clean. Easy, medium, hard. Insane. And then we come with item losses, I believe. Lose item 2, 3, and 4. And then we have skill point 1. Three and 4. And let's not forget about meta coins. And that's already another page. So 4 goes here. Lose item. Okay. And skill points. I think this one is number 3. And 4. Okay. Then we have lose meta. Lose meta 1. There we go. And I think we have everything now matched in. We have take damage, lose gold, spawn enemies, blum 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 blum, and so on. Alrighty now. Now we gotta take a look at where I have reward dial. I have resolve difficulty here, but now we have to add resolve penalty as well. And the texture for this thing has to be coming from dial penalty, icons by type. Like that. And if we started now, the icons on the bulls should be a bit different. They should be juggling penalties. Oh, I just see it in mail. Thanks for the follow, dude. Sampruno, bro. Appreciate it. Okay, we go here. And we have. Now these things are a bit different. What if I reset? So this is the price, difficulty, and that. Should I spread them out more evenly? Because what I want the player to know for sure is that he sees all his options. You can play the minigame. You have a chance of winning this, this, or this, but there's a chance of having a high difficulty, but the penalties seem to be quite okay. And then you do this. You select your reward. Ah, gold. That kind of sucks. Then you go here. You select the difficulty. Wow, this is very hard to see because the dots are only spinning. Number 2. And what's gonna be my penalty if I fail? Ah, I'm gonna lose 50% of health. Here. Then this will appear, and these will move away. I'm gonna press, and you'll see. Then we have to make a countdown. Minigame begins, or challenge begins in 5, or 3, 2, 1, boom. Doop 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 doop, doop 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 doop, something like that. And you failed. Tank spawn, and they wait for you to finish, or you just get your damage, and they fly back, and the portal appears back. A lot of complications if you ask me, but we'll see what's gonna be the feedback. Alrighty, so now when I resolve reward, this is here and this is being used in dial itself. So that's okay. Here I have somewhere pick reward thingy. Stop and get reward. But this thing now, it shouldn't immediately destroy the dial. I'm gonna take a leak. It's that time again. Be right back. I'm back. So Bruno, actually I don't know how to explain it to you. Is the default that Godot has to actually inherit the class? If it's coming from an engine class, it has to be partial. I know that they were talking about it, why this is the thing. Not sure why. It's the default, Godot's default. It's to overcome some difficulty. If you ask me, I don't really know how to explain it. So sorry about that. But yeah, otherwise in C# I never really used partial classes outside of Godot a lot. Unity didn't have this problem. I mean, this way of doing it. Okay, now we have icons, and because we have all the icons, we can start implementing what's gonna go here, what's gonna happen here in the reward dial. And the problem I have is I have to figure out how this will actually work. Let's try to plan the sequence. So, the player comes in. We should remove everything that's related to that. Maybe even all the sequence plates and everything should be disabled. Now Logan recommended that it would be wise if the player could see what he has to actually compete against. But some stuff is gonna be populated, generated on the go. So leaving the sequence plates on by default doesn't make any sense, if you ask me. Maybe I could add some kind of a sign. What kind of a minigame is played here? Here or there. So, when you come in, sequence plates are off, and pressure plate start should be off. Like that. You come to an empty room. But there should be a sign. Which minigame it is. A sign could be 16 by 16, something like that. With an icon on it. Do I have a sign somewhere? I think this was the beginning of a sign a long time ago. Let's see if we can make it work. Let's see, we're gonna take first the default one. So instead of it being a total square, should it be more rectangular? I'm not so sure yet. Let's go with a square for now, because some icons are higher than others. And we're gonna first try to make a blank slate. And then we can try putting in some icons. But then we have to come up with all the icons for the minigames. I could make it a bit lower, like that. Well, the thing that it's a bit darker on the lower side is okay. But I want to keep the darkness even a bit lower. Just like that, kind of making it symmetrical, but up here we gotta go a bit further up. Like this. This looks like a good base for a sign. And then on the sign itself, we should add some kind of... Let me just count this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Huh. Can I go with a brighter color up here? I like the outline better. Okay. Now this thingy is also going to be one tile. And then we have to color it a bit. This is going to be a default. And somewhere on the side it's a bit brighter. Okay, it looks a bit narrower. What's the height of this one? And width. So 12 by 11, 11. It should be a bit higher. And now I think we have squared board, which is okay. And of course here we have some shadows. Okay. This could be a sign. And if we take these guys away, we have to come up with the icons for different minigames. Now, either I'm gonna go with a sign or some kind of a plate or something that's gonna say which thing we're going on with. Maybe the fox could have like a decoration on it. Some kind of an icon in his hand. Not really. But so far so good. Let's take this thing. Put it here. And the minigames that we have, they are, if we take a look, I wrote them down. Bunny challenge. So I could find a bunny rabbit. Units. Mini bunny. If he's big enough, I'm gonna try to iconize him, if it makes sense. Small enough. Come on. Oh, she's barking. Mrs. barks a lot. Okay, and in order for him to appear more like a sign, I'm gonna just use the flat colors with minimum amount of shading needed. You know what, actually I could use those lines a bit. Because if outline can be, for example, a bit darker. Not this one, this one. And then let's try to use this bright one. Krita. I have it installed. I didn't use it for the capsule art that I was making. I used actually GIMP because it supported the Photoshop files, and I had to make some modifications. Are you artist? By the way, you're also working on art or so on? I totally forgot to ask you. I know that you're using Unity. Well, I suck at art too. There's just one thing that's my pain point. Another pain point that I have is also UI design. Man, how I waste my time there. That's just insane. Regarding the UI, one of the things that I just can't do, man. Probably the place where I spend the most of my time. Oh yeah, you mean regarding my art? Thanks for if that's a compliment, but well, I have to admit I'm proud about these faces. It's not the thing that I do a lot of times. Some things. But, you know, this is more or less simple. Because I had a reference. This was the original thing. Not with all this thing down, but I used this in my earlier game, Reynard. I copied and pasted, and then I just started to make some pixels up and down. To make something different. And this is also... Look, for example, first try was this. This looked horrible. It looked like a toad. And then I made Deidre out of it. Slowly. You know, eventually, the biggest problem is that it really takes a lot of time, dude. I believe that artists, some people are much faster at these things, you know. But in the end you saw that Bunny making, making Bunny as an icon was just basically taking the unit, kind of losing its colors. You know, it wasn't my 100% creation, definitely not. If I have a good reference, then I can do something from time to time, but otherwise, nah, man. You know how the saying goes? Jack of all trades, master of none. I feel that's a lot of times how you feel like when you're an indie developer. Oh, this could kind of look like a lawn mower, huh? Ah, that one was better. I actually agree with that. I mean, I can't imagine really focusing or mastering one skill, like, and not giving any other thing a chance. I don't know if that makes sense, but a lot of time I'm just too interested in the thing that's going on the other side, you know. Well, we'll see how this turns out. And in the end, there's always a possibility nowadays that you can patch things up, you know. That's another thing. Can you fully explain it? People only made the first half of the quote famous. If they considered the other half, it would mean totally different. Aha, so that's a quote actually. That's a full quote. I didn't know. If we're on the same page now. Cool. Now either I could go with this thing. Or I'm gonna go simpler. Try to find somewhere a grass blade. Grass blade. Environment. Decorations. That will be better, I'm sure. You know what? Taking this mon lower and just saving it if by any chances I change my mind about something. Better. It takes up more space. That's why I like it more. Then another challenge will be if we take a look at my reference, pattern match. So those are like a couple of squares. Maybe I could go with 4. Equally spaced out. A bit too far. What's this? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Those represent the pressure plates. This one is lower, this one is higher. Kind of. But it's not a hard outline. That's bothering me. It should be style consistent. What if I try just indicating that it's a pressure plate and that its color is more like that. But if I remove the bottom, then it feels like it should go further in the ground. We'll see, we can change this anytime we want. So we have bunnies, mowed lawn, pattern recognition, mushroom. Let's take a nice representative of that. Okay, then we start coloring a bit. This dot is giving me headache. If I put it down, then it looks like a weird smiley. Oh, this is better. Yeah, it looks a bit larger, right? That's okay. We can make it smaller a bit later. For example, if I would want to squeeze him, I wonder how many pixels I would lose with that, you know? It would start distorting him pretty bad, right? Well, this could kind of work. And I just try to put in an eye. This could work, right? Smaller bunny rabbit. Okay, this one's good. One thing that's still bothering me is these thingies. Hey, this looks better. Much better. Okay, rabbit, these pattern, model on, what else? I know that I have more challenges that we have to make. Dodge projectiles. And that one's gonna be simple because we already have arrows. Maybe I can just example use this one. Well, I have UI elements somewhere. There's a bow here. I have an arrow here. One thing for sure that I messed up is the thing that actually I just want to have these sprites out, not on the boards. So I'm gonna have to extract them and clear them up, because we're gonna be spawning only this, and then we're gonna overlay one more sprite, and that's gonna be it. We're not gonna be having like because if, for example, if we want to modify the background, the sign itself, we only have to modify one. And this one is a bit elevated, but that's okay. Kind of. Or maybe I know that I was using like triple arrows somewhere for the icon. Not sure if in items. Yeah, this was for rain of arrows. And it's optically not correct. It's better this way. That'd be like a shadow. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, delete it, move it a bit lower, and start removing all the things that we don't need. And the final thing that I'm gonna also probably do is I kinda don't like that we use the brown color, because what if in the future I decide that I want to change the color? I should only have dark shades. You think? Because it's so hard? It might be. But how could I make a better base? Not sure how I could achieve that. Shadow thingy, you mean like these? These around? Down here? Like that? That makes it look like a rock too much. But then I need a stem from where it's coming. We'll see. Possibility that it changes in the future. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's okay. Mm-hmm. I'll leave it like that. Not touching it anymore. At least not in this session, because I already had earlier like an hour and a half of tweaking pixels too much. I have to code the thing as well. Yeah, right. You know, you just gotta push, man, sometimes, because I know that I can easily go here with pixels hours. And sometimes it just doesn't feel right, no matter what you do, you know. Okay, then what should we add? A couple of new colors. 3 different shades of black. So let's say the outline is gonna be 200. Come on, can I change you? Ah, okay, never mind. 200, 150, and 100. Can I move you somewhere? I can. Good. Now with this one, the outline is going to be the darkest and semi-transparent. And these things, shadows, are going to be a bit more like that. And the fill. Now either it's gonna be empty or a bit darker. Ah, that looks caca. Not good. If I go back here, what if I make you transparent? I make you a bit brighter. Close enough. Yeah. Because in the future, if I just want to change the background, I change the thing there and that's it. So we have like this monocolor now version as well. But this thing feels off and I'm not sure why. Yeah. Okay, saving it. And one thing I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go cook lunch and so on. So it's gonna be a bigger break, guys. And then I still have to record some kind of short for today. So I think it's gonna be best if I wrap the stream for today. Maybe if we're gonna have enough time, an evening session. So thanks, guys. Thanks for joining and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye, Sampruna. Thank you again. Nice talking to you as well. Hope to see you next time. Bye.